Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our lecture. I hope you are also fresh after one week semester break to start your lecture again. So today we are going to discuss about aspect-based opinion summarization. So in our first session, we already discussed that most sentiment analysis application uh, studies the opinions from many people, right? Because due to the subjective nature of the opinions, looking at only the opinions from one person is not enough, right? So there you will need some kind of summary, right? In that session, in the first session, we see that the opinion quantiple provides you the basic information for an opinion summary. They call it as a aspect-based summary. In last week, in before the break, last 2 weeks, right? Um, um, the Much of the research in the opinion summarization related to those we already discussed before, right? So this has been accepted in many industries until now. If you see in Google search engine, Microsoft Bing, the sentiment analysis system use this kind of summary. So in general, opinion summarization can be seen as multi-document text summarizations problem. So this text summarization has been studied extensively in NLP, natural language processing. Right? So NLP is very useful. Actually, it's been used in many areas. But the opinion summary is quite different from the one that single person. Right? So it as I mentioned in the previous slide that it's related to many people, right? That you need to summary, unless if it is in the top position in the organization, for example, the director, the VIP, right? The vice chancellor, the president. So then it's okay. You can get it from this single person, right? Um, the key idea is to use the aspects as a bit of summary, right? That's why we call it as aspect-based summary, aspect-based sentiment analysis in the last 2 weeks, right? But they are different from the traditional single document or even traditional multi-document summary or factual informations, right? Um, um, the there in Traditionally they are centering on the entities, right, and the aspects and the sentiments about them. That's why they have some quantitative side, which are the essence of aspect-based opinion summary, right? Um, the um, this is the one that not available in the document summary, right? So it's different. The essence of the aspect-based opinion summary is this in the quantitative side, right? But the traditional single document produces a short term or from the long text by extracting some important sentences. Then the traditional multi-document summarization finds some differences among the documents, but they ignore some repeated informations. Right? Um, the So to sum up, those traditional single or multiple documents, um, um, the summarization in NLP, um, they don't have uh, um, different topics or different entities and their aspects in the document, and they don't have any quantitative side. Right? So the importance of a sentence in the traditional text summarization is often defined operationally based on the summarization algorithms, and they are measured in each system. Opinion summarization, on the other hand, can be conceptually defined, and then the summary is then structured, and even for output summaries, they can be a short text document that are still some explicit structures in them. Right? Similar approach has been proposed in Ku et al. 2006, Karen Sinin and and Paul 2006, that they are using topic modeling methods. Right? So the opinion summarization is still an active research topics. You can have it as your final year project topics, right? Because people still researching on it. If it's dead, you cannot use it for your final year project topics. Right? But if you search in Google Scholar, you can find many papers related to the opinion summarization still. So most methods in this opinion summarization produce a short text summary that don't focus on the quantitative side. The side is like the proportion for the positive and negative opinions. How many percent positive for the percent negative, right? So this is the weakness, right? It's only qualitative, not quantitative, right? Um, and we should also note that based on the structured summary that you obtained, you can create natural language sentence based on what we see in using some aspect and opinions in some templates. Right? For example, you can summary as 60% of the people are positive about the picture, right? But this may not be the best sentence for the people's reading pleasure only about the picture. Right? So let's see some papers related to the aspect-based opinion summarizations. The first one that we are going to discuss is some improvements, some innovative ideas uh, to to uh, to 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 improve the aspect-based summary, the basic one. There are some research papers that you can find. The basic one in this course, starting from a 2010 paper from Tata and Eugene, produced an opinion summary for the song reviews. Right? Previously, we have some example on the movie reviews. Right? But each aspect and each sentiments, which is positive and negative, are selected in the representative sentence for the group. So the sentence should mention the fewest aspects that the representative sentence is focused, so that then they can order the sentence using some given domain ontology by mapping the sentences to the ontology nodes. Ontology is like a tree, right? So the node in ontology is like the node in the tree, right? The nodes, the leaf, it is basically the same with the branches, right? The leaf is on the bottom usually. The nodes can be anywhere. So the ontology basically encodes the key domain concepts and the relations. And then the sentences were ordered and organized into the paragraphs. The same with the tree, following the tree, that so that they appear in conceptually coherent versions. They are in a coherent fashion. Another proposal is from Nishikawa 2010 also. They provide us the summarization techniques, right? More sophisticated. Sophisticated, you can use the mathematical formula is more the mathematical formula is more complicated, right? You can see on the right side of the slide. So they proposed to generate traditional text summary, but with the selection and ordering of the sentence from multiple reviews by accommodating both informativeness and readability of the final summary. So the informativeness is like the sum of frequency of each aspect sentiment pair. This is the sum, right? And the readability, right, is like a natural sequence of the sentence that you can make a summation of the connectivity of all adjacent sentences, neighborhood sentences in the sequence, right? So the problem was then solved through the optimization, right? And also there is a new one by using the integer linear programming formulation to improve the optimization, ILP, using some um, positive and negative proportions. Another work using ontology proposed by Lu et al. They are using online ontologies of the entities and some online aspects to organize and summarize the opinions. So this method is related to the previous research that you already discussed in the previous slides, but it's somehow different that the systems first select aspects that capture major opinions, given that they have a um, uh, um, the entity and online ontology in the entity. Right? So the objective is to generate the structured summary of the opinions from the major opinion capturing. Right? Then the aspects ordering is the one that trying to capture the natural for human viewing to order it. And then when they have new aspects, they add it to ontology. Right? So there's an update in online ontology as well. So how to perform this aspect selection, that is capturing the major opinions. First, the selection is done by frequency and then opinion coverage, which has no redundancy, or using the conditional entropy. Then it orders the aspects and there is corresponding sentences based on the coherence measure. The coherence measure tries to optimize the ordering so that they best follow the sequence of aspect aspect appearance in the original one, in the original post. So the coherence formula is the one that you can see. They can calculate it using this uh, mathematical formula. Last, there are some other papers that you can search in Google Scholar to read more detail about their contributions. In 2006, proposed by Serenini and Pauls, they have some integration of the aspect-based summarization with two traditional text summarization approaches of some factual documents, for example, sentence selection or extraction and sentence generations using the human judge. So several researchers also studied some problem of summarization opinions by finding some contrastive viewpoints. For example, a reviewer may give you the positive opinion about the voice quality of iPhone, by saying the voice quality of iPhone is really great, but another reviewer may say the opposite. The voice quality of my iPhone is lousy. So if you have this pair of the opinions, you can give the reader the direct comparative review of the different opinions. It's more fair. You can see it's not engineered. Another work from Kim and Zhai 2009 that is generating and studying this problem. If they are given the positive sentence set and negative sentence set, then there is a work to perform contrastive opinion summarization by extracting a set of contrastive sentence pairs from the set. Then the pair of the opinion sentence called as a contrastive sentence pair. If there's two sentences about the same topic of aspects, but they have a different sentiment orientations. So they choose the sentence pair must also represent both positive and negative sentences set as well. The set should be also like that. So the authors formulated the summarization as an optimization problem and solve it based on the several similarity functions in information retrieval. Another work is from Lehman McDonald 2009 that is formulating a different contrastive summarization problem as well. They want to produce contrastive summary of the opinion of two different products, right? To highlight the difference of opinion about them. Then their approach is to jointly model the two summarization tasks and in optimization to explicitly consider the fact that they want two summaries to contrast. And then another paper from Lehman also with different co-authors, one more co-authors from Brad Golden Schultz, defining their opinion summarization in a slightly different way. So if you are given the set of documents D, the reviews, for example, then it contains opinion of the same entity of the interest. So the goal is to opinion summarization system is to generate the summary of entity that is representative of average opinion and speaks to important aspects only. So they have three different models to perform summarization of the reviews of the products. So all these three models choose set of sentence from the review. The first model is sentiment match, and then sentiment match and aspect coverage, and sentiment aspect match. So the comprehensive evaluation of the human used to compare these three types of summaries. Then we can find that which model is the best. Although it's not always better than the others. The best but not better than the others. It's quite difficult. And then another work from Paul Zhai and Kirju work on this problem as well. They have algorithm to generate macro multi-view summary and then micro multi-view summary. So macro and micro. Okay. Macro contains some multiple set of sentence and each sentence representing the different opinions. Micro contains a set of pairs contrasting the sentence, contrastive sentence, where each pair consists of two sentences represent two different opinions. So the algorithm works in two steps. In the first step, they use some topic modeling approach to model and to mine both topics or aspects and sentiments. In the second step, the random walk, like in the Google search engine, random walk, right? They propose random walk to score sentence and pair the sentence from opposite viewpoints based on the both representative and the contrastiveness for each other. With the similar work from Park Lee Zong 2011 report another method to generate or contrasting opposing views in news articles. The last work is from Wang and Liu, where they studied some extractive summarization by selecting important sentences only, when they have any opinions in the conversation. So they experimented with both traditional sentence ranking and graph approach. They have some additional features such as topic relevant sentiment and dialogue structure. But the problem is that they only have limited target entities and aspects, or sometimes they don't consider it, these sentiments about them. So they can select sentences which are not related to the sentiment or no aspects or any aspects. Another problem is that there is no quantitative perspective here. So if you have no perspective, quantitative perspective, then you will not have any often you don't have this quantitative perspective, right? It's very important because uh, sometimes, let's say 1 out of 10 people, if they hate something, is very different from 5 out of 10 people hating something, right? So numbers is important, quantitative is important also. So I think that's all for the lecture today. If you have any question, just raise it during the online discussion at 10 a.m. So see you in the online discussion forum. Bye.